Okay, so I am back. I am back. And now I'm ready to go. And I'm actually gonna start. Oh, okay. Whew. Forgive me. We all start somewhere while we are learning to use technology. So I'm back and welcome everyone. Welcome to my lesson. And I'm gonna try to make it as fun as possible. I'm gonna try to make it work. So I hope you're gonna enjoy my live video where I'm teaching graphing trigonometric functions, and I'm doing this live. So it's so exciting and scary at the same time. So let's start with the lesson and see how we go. I'm gonna grab my pen and graphing trigonometric functions. Okay, so if you are home and doing nothing during this pandemic, I think watching a live on how to graph would be an exciting thing to do. So we are going to describe the graph of sine, cosine, and the tangent function. I think I will only cover like 2 or 3 examples. I will not do a long live since it's our first time and we don't want to spoil things. But then if I happen to do more lives, then I will continue. So let's see how far we go, and I hope you will enjoy this. Describe the graph and other trigonometric functions. Okay, and the word that we need to learn is amplitude and frequency, and I will also say period. I will add and say also we need to learn about the period. Okay, so the period basically. Oh, I don't know why my screen is not. Is it moving? I hope it's moving for whoever that's watching me live. And okay, the period. Let's go on and look at the properties of our function. So basically, okay. Okay, so basically we are going to look at the properties. So this is a sine graph over here, and this is a cos graph over there. As much as I'm trying to get through the content, I'm also trying to get through the technology to say, I hope this goes well, and I hope something is happening, because I'm trying to see if somebody's with me and whether they can hear me, but I don't see where the chats are. So yeah, I can say technology for now. I can just say technology. Now, what I want to say is, okay, our sine graph starts at 0, okay, and it goes like that, okay, and our cos graph starts at 1, and it continues like that. So let's look at the properties. So this is just a scan of how a sine graph looks like and a cos graph looks like, okay. The domain is all real numbers. It's all real numbers because it goes through all the x's. So if you can see on the x-axis, our graph continues all the way in the negative and the positive. So it's all real numbers. And same applies this side. Our range, when it's the standard graph, is between -1 and 1. So our range is between -1 and 1. And then the amplitude is the highest point that our graph gets to, which is 1. And then the period for both the graphs is 360. So the amplitude, as you can see, is given by the absolute value of A, and the the period is given by 360 divided by the absolute value of B. So the absolute value of B, if it's negative, it must be positive. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can be able to graph the function. So before I can go on and graph this one, I'm going to graph the standard one, which is y is equal to cos theta. So if I have this graph, what I have to identify is my amplitude and my period. So I'll just write A for amplitude so that we don't waste time. So my amplitude here will be 1. Okay. And I'll write P for my period. Let me use equal rather. My period will be 360 because this is the original graph. My period is 360. So now, what am I going to do with this information? The amplitude will help me decide on my y-axis. Okay, so on my y-axis, I will have positive 1 and negative 1 because of my amplitude, because that's the highest point that we can go to. Okay, I will draw my x-axis. And for me to know the steps of my x-axis, whether I should start with 0, with 10, obviously it starts with 0, but which angle do I put? I will say 360, and I divide this by 4. So when I divide 360 by 4, it gives me 90, right? 360 divided by 4, it's 90. It's just confirming. So now it will be 90, 180, 270, 360. Okay, 360 plus 90, 360 plus 90 is 450. Okay, so you can continue adding 90, 90, 90 to get your points. So now, I want to draw this graph. What I'll do is, I will go ahead in the calculator and put cos 0. So when I press cos 0, I will get 1. That means I must come to this point, because angle 0 gives me 1. And then when I go to cos 90 gives me 0. And then cos 180, you press your calculator, cos 180 will give you negative 1. If you put cos 270, so you press cos and you put 270, it will give you 0. And then when you press 360, it gives you 1 again. So now you've seen that you have your period, the repetition of the graph. So you just repeat like that. And then the next point will go down here, and so on and so on. So what happens on the negative will happen also on the positive, will also happen on the negative. So I'll go ahead and make 0 here, and minus 180. Excuse my writing, I need to invest on that. Okay, now I will change my color and go ahead and pick the blue color, and let's see. Now I will join my points. Okay. Okay, I hope I get a beautiful curve. Sometimes you try to make the curve and it does something that you don't understand. Okay, so that's how our graph will look like. It will continue like that. Okay, on the negative, it will do the same thing. So guys, this is our standard graph for the course. And you can obviously talk about your domain. Your domain is all real numbers. Your range, your y, is between -1 and +1. So this is your range. This is your range. I'll just say R for the range. Your domain is all real numbers. All real numbers. Alright, so I'll go ahead and remove this. I wish I could see who's watching me. I wish I could hear like comments and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still trying to get ahead and see what's happening. So let's go on and plot this one. Now we've seen the original. Now we will do the one with the amplitude of 4 and the and the period where we divide it by 3. Okay, so I will erase this. I will erase pen. And my amplitude, I'll write A for amplitude, is 4. My period is 360 divided by, so it's 360 divided by 3, which gives me 120. Yes, it gives me 120. So my steps here will be 30 because of I will divide my period by 4 and my step will start at 30. I hope this point is clear. So now let me go ahead and do the graph. Let me start with the red color. So I will go ahead. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so, because my aim and intention is to help as many people as possible in ways that I can during this lockdown, and not just for the lockdown, for the rest of my life. I just want to help people with mathematics, because basically math is not difficult, honestly. They lie to us and say it's difficult. It's not. I know that because if I did it, you can do it. So I said my period is 4, so I'll just try to put 4 up here and then negative 4. The pattern will be the same, just that now I'm starting at 30 and I will go on in multiples of 30. So it will be 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, and 150 plus 30 is 180, right? Okay, and then we have negative 30 and negative 16. So now let's go ahead and put our points. So our point will be, let's use a different color for that, blue color. When we put in your calculator, you have this, you put 4 cos 3, and then your first theta will be 0. When you put 0 here, you will get 4. When you put 30, you will get 0. And then when you put 60, you will get negative 4. You must try like that. And then put 90, you will get 0. At 120, like 120 is our period. Here we are. The period is the repetition. It starts again. So from here, I just know the pattern goes on, and then I can go up like that. And then on the other side, repetition of the pattern. Now let me go ahead and use a green color. I'm being so colorful now. Let's use the green color and see. Can I get a beautiful curve, please? I don't want to be disappointed. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm combining my graph. So if you can look at this graph, you will see that this graph basically looks like the other one that we did, the first one. The difference is just your amplitude now is up. So it's like your graph stretched up. Your amplitude now is 4, and your period is 120. So we started at steps of 30, but the graph is still the same graph. So now I will give you something else that's gonna help us. I will close this. I will discard this, and I will go ahead and open my internet. How do I move this? Okay. So I will go ahead and open this, and I'll open Desmos. So in Desmos, I'm going to show you the two graphs and the differences. So I'll say y is equal to cos and then x. So this is the graph, and here they give it in radians. So it's 0 and 1, and -1. So here it's 0 and pi over 2. If you didn't catch my video on how to convert, you can go and check. Pi over 2 is equal to 90. And then here, 180. Okay. So this is the standard graph. Now what happens to the graph if it changes the amplitude? Let's change the amplitude. It will be 4 cos x. So when we change the amplitude, it is still from here, but it comes up to this point when we change the amplitude. Let's put 3 here. So can you see that it squeezes, it comes in, because now our period is now at 120. So 6 over pi, pi over 6 is 30, 60. See, you can go ahead and check how to convert, because this one does not show degrees. So guys, I'm not going to waste time, and I'm not going to go on into the sine graph now, because this is my first live on Facebook while I'm teaching. So I hope you liked it. I hope you will refer people to my channel to subscribe. I will go ahead and put the link for the videos. And just all in all, I hope somebody learned something from this video. And thank you so much, guys. Until next time, bye. If people like my videos, I will try to do them every week. Yeah, or every day if I have the energy. Right. Bye and bye and bye. How do I end now? Leave the page. Finish.